right now on 15 News Now.
The weekend is finally here. What will the forecast be like? I'll let you know.
The unemployment rate in Taylor County continues to fall. Also, global financial markets are showing signs of recovery, and the government is looking for ways to tighten security along America's borders. 15 News Now starts now.
Coverage you can count on. 15 News Now starts now.
The unemployment rate here in Taylor County continued to fall in the month of April. Thanks for joining us for 15 News Now. I'm Fred Dawkins. Our top story, the rate fell to 7.4%, which is just above the state average. Now, during the last several months in 2012 and even into January of this year, the unemployment rate in the county stayed at about 9.2%. In the month of February, the county saw a drop when the rate was 8.3%, and then another drop in March at 7.7%. As registration at North Florida Community College is underway, students must note that the school offers a wide variety of courses. NFCC President John Grosskopf tells 15 News Now that the school has a history of getting the students what they need before they transfer to a university.
Our college has historically served primarily as a transfer institution, and even to this day, the biggest slice of our student population are those folks who come here to get their Associate of Arts degree to transfer on to a university.
Advising for the fall semester began this week. However, you still have plenty of time to get registered for fall classes. Phil Wilkerson explains why advising is a good idea.
Generally, a student, particularly a new student, would come in, meet with an advisor. We would talk about their long-term goals, their life goals, their vocational goals, and from there, work to put together a schedule for them.
Now, if you would like to become a student or need to make an appointment for advising, call 973-9455 or visit nfcc.edu. Classes start August 26th. It's an ambitious feat even for a man who was born into a family of daredevils. Nick Wandewal will attempt to walk on a tightrope across the Little Colorado River Gorge near the Grand Canyon, even without a tether or net on Sunday. The 34-year-old Wagalan has been training for weeks for the stunt in his home of Sarasota, Florida. The search continues for the person who police say shot a man at a Tallahassee apartment complex Wednesday night. The shooting happened in the 1700 block of Joe Louis Street. The victim is expected to recover. If you have any information, you're urged to call the Tallahassee Police Department at 891-4200. Now, Dustin Kopp is here with a look at our first forecast. We've had a lot of thunderstorms, Dustin. What's the weekend look like?
Good evening, Fred. Good evening, everybody. Temperatures across the area this evening will be on the warm side, 84 degrees with possibility of some thunderstorms at 7 p.m. By 9 p.m., those thunderstorms possible, 80 degrees, and by midnight, we're down to 74. Will we see any thunderstorms for the weekend? I'll let you know coming up in your Storm Tracker weather forecast.
And coming up, global financial markets are showing signs of recovery. That story coming up on 15 News Now.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job, I needed health benefits from my family, so I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance, so I called ICANN.
Going without health insurance? One call can change it all. Rates too high? You've been turned down, or just need to save money. ICANN has plans to meet your needs, no matter your income. We have plans that include coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, surgery, emergency room visits, and the list goes on. But wait, there's more. ICANN has programs that connect you with licensed doctors round the clock from wherever you are. And as a special bonus, if you call right now, we'll send you a no-cost, no-obligation Humana prescription drug savings card just for calling.
That's a savings of up to 50% off your prescriptions at 54,000 participating pharmacies nationwide.
You're watching 15 News Now with Fred Dawkins and Dustin Kopp. 15 News Now continues.
Global financial markets are showing signs of recovery after the stock market had its worst day of the year. Now investors want to know, was it just a correction or shades of things to come? Gary Lane has more.
Markets in Europe and Asia bounced back overnight after experiencing heavy losses Thursday. In the U.S., the Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeted 353 points.
It's like a perfect storm out there this week.
The fall came after Federal Reserve Board Chairman Ben Bernanke announced the Fed may start pulling back from its economic stimulus efforts. That will bring higher interest rates, and some investors fear it will harm economic growth. Housing prices are increasing in many parts of the country. That's good news for sellers, but buyers are now paying 1% more for a mortgage. Interest rates on most home loans are now up to more than 4%. Commodity prices fell Thursday. Gold plunged by nearly $88 to $1,286 an ounce, and silver fell 8.3%. Oil had its biggest decline since last November, dropping to $95.40 per barrel in New York, and gasoline futures fell more than 3%. Some economists say the public should not be alarmed because the economy is improving. 175,000 jobs were added last month. So far this year, the stock market is up more than 10%. Most analysts believe Thursday's market slide was just a correction, not a sign of more volatility to come. They believe the markets are simply adjusting, coming to terms with a new reality, as the period of U.S. government stimulus may be nearing an end.
Our economy is getting better, and now it's time for us to see how we can do it on our own. Once we get through that period, I think we're going to realize that we're going to be okay and things are going to get back to normal.
A jury in Leon County has found Nelson Alexander guilty of first-degree murder and guilty of robbery with a firearm. All of the jurors were polled, and they all stated that they voted guilty. Alexander is one of 4 men accused of a Tallahassee cab driver's murder. O'Brien Brandy was robbed and shot to death in October of 2011. 6 female jurors have been seated to consider whether former Neighborhood Watch volunteer George Zimmerman committed murder when he fatally shot 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. Prosecutors and defense attorneys turned Friday to resolve issues before opening statements in Monday's trial. President Barack Obama has chosen a new FBI director to replace outgoing Chief Robert Mueller. Obama is tapping James Comey, a former Justice Department official in the George W. Bush administration, to take the lead. Comey is well known for standing against intrusive government surveillance in the fight against terrorism. The White House hopes Comey's bipartisan background and 20 years of law enforcement will help smooth his confirmation in the Senate. Up next, the government is looking for ways to tighten security along America's borders. 15 News Now. We'll be right back.
Health Insurance Update. This just in for all uninsured Americans with or without pre-existing conditions. The recent health care bill will not take effect until at least 2014, leaving families and individuals lacking health insurance with no immediate solution to their concerns. Meanwhile, medical problems continue to be the #1 cause of bankruptcies. Here's the good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide affordable health insurance for all uninsured Americans, and yes, uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call the number on your screen now, and in less than 10 minutes, you could receive a choice of affordable plans from the Hotline Network. This is not a discount card. You will have access to doctors, hospitals, dental care, infant care, and emergency services. Call the Health Insurance Hotline now and get you and your family covered today.
Call 800-794-0825. That's 800-794-0825. Call now.
A plan to tighten security along America's border with Mexico got bipartisan support in Congress on Thursday. After weeks of negotiations, Senate lawmakers agreed to amend a bill to include an enhanced border security measure in exchange for immigration reform. George Thomas has the details.
For Republican lawmakers, increased security was the deal breaker in supporting a Senate immigration bill.
We don't have control of our southwestern border.
Some of the key provisions in the legislation include a so-called surge, placing 20,000 new federal agents along America's southern border, adding 700 more miles of fence along the U.S.-Mexico border, and buying new surveillance drones to track illegal border crossing, all at a price tag of some $30 billion over a decade. For Democratic lawmakers, creating a pathway for undocumented immigrants to get U.S. citizenship is key.
These 11 million people play a crucial role in our economy and a vital role in our communities. These 11 million people need a pathway to get right with the law.
Under the compromise, immigrants living in the U.S. illegally would be put on a pathway to citizenship as the added security is implemented. But green cards would not be handed out until the work is complete. The so-called Gang of 8 senators involved in the negotiations are hoping the new security measures will persuade skeptical Republican lawmakers to pass the bill before it heads to the House. Speaker of the House John Boehner said this week it will take some bipartisanship for the Senate immigration bill to pass.
Any immigration reform bill that is going to go into law ought to have a majority of both parties support if we're really serious about making that happen.
George Thomas, CBN News.
The Leon County Sheriff's Department is investigating after a person was found dead in a local home. Deputies were called to the home at the 2000 block of Mandrill Court around 3 a.m. on Thursday. When they responded, they discovered a person's body inside the house. At this time, the name or the gender of the victim has not been released. Federal prosecutors say an Oklahoma man stole nearly $3 million in textbooks from his former employer in New Jersey and resold them. Authorities have charged 44-year-old Christopher Brock of Yukon, Oklahoma, with wire fraud. Brock was arrested in Tampa on Thursday.
Here is your Storm Tracker forecast.
And welcome back. Right now we have 85 degrees outside. It's definitely on the warm side with some showers and thunderstorms. Feels like 89 out there. Current dew point 69 with 57% humidity and an east northeast wind at about 6 miles per hour. Showers and thunderstorms will continue. We'll continue to see those hot and humid times over the area, and it looks like summer will be sticking around. Here's what your forecast looks like throughout the area. We're going to be seeing humid conditions throughout the area. Also, possibility of some heavy rainfall over in northern portions of the state of Florida. Will we see any heavy rainfall here in Perry and the Big Bend? Well, we possibly could, but it's going to be isolated in nature for the most part. This evening, if you're going out and about, 84 degrees at 7 p.m. with showers and thunderstorms possible. Showers and thunderstorms possible throughout the rest of the evening. 80 degrees by 9 p.m. By midnight, we're down about 74. Forecast for tonight, 69 degrees for your overnight low with showers and thunderstorms likely. East wind 5 to 10. For tomorrow, thunderstorms continue. High 91, definitely on the warm side. Looking ahead the next several days, showers and thunderstorms off and on for the next several days. It's been a broken record for the last couple weeks, and we're going to continue that broken record. Otherwise, we will see some peaks of sunshine, especially on the days that we could see some isolated thunderstorms. Temperatures near that 90-degree mark by Friday of next week, down to about 87 for your daytime high. Don't forget to get the latest weather information at our website. It's WSFD15.com.
Mom! Mom?
This mom was lucky that her daughter happened to stop by. Can your mom or dad reach a phone in such an emergency? The solution is Life Alert. Life Alert saves a life from a catastrophe every 11 minutes.
Linda, thank you for finding Life Alert for me. I feel much safer having it.
Whenever my mother needed help, Life Alert was there.
Because of Life Alert, my mother's life was saved.
Life Alert definitely saved my mother-in-law's life that day. There's no doubt about it.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. That's 1-800-821-5206. Call now, 1-800-821-5206. For a free brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. 1-800-821-5206.
Up next in today's edition of Focus on the Family with Dr. Bill Meyer, how to handle teenage girls caught up in the diet craze. Plus, college. It's a scary time for some students, but if you're a monster, it's all about the scare. We'll sneak you a quick preview of the new Pixar animation flick, Monsters University, in our plugged-in movie review. All kids are vulnerable to the cultural pressures to be smarter, better looking, and more athletic. But girls, in particular, worry a lot about their weight. In today's Focus on the Family segment, Dr. Bill Meyer has some advice on how parents can help their daughters take a healthier approach.
I remember
going to put on something and being like, I look fat in this, and then changing, and that was even when I was really young.
Our culture's emphasis on physical beauty and thinness is infectious, and it's impacted the majority of our young girls.
There's that constant pressure to be thin. Like, I was constantly trying to compete to be like, well, I think she's skinnier than me, so I need to be thinner.
Christy isn't alone. Unfortunately, kids will try almost anything, from crazy diets to literally starving themselves to look just like a wafer-thin model or actress.
I would have like a cookie or something, and I'd chew it up and spit it out. And I wouldn't actually eat it. It just wasn't good. I'd hardly eat anything at all.
Hollywood, I think, just looks at the outer appearance. And as a parent, I think we have to look at the heart of our kids. Looking past just the superficial, just the body. It makes all the difference in the world.
Parents, especially fathers, play a key role in combating a girl's negative body image. When a dad continually communicates to his daughter that she's beautiful just the way she is, it helps to counteract media messages that emphasize thinness.
If that girl is feeling affirmation from her father, then she's not going to have to go other places to try to, get skinnier and skinnier.
Not hold up the standard of the world and compare them to it, but say, you're right just the way you are. And if they hear that enough, I think it carries more weight than the world.
Parents can also help by shielding their kids from the onslaught of distorted cultural messages about body image.
To look at that and to constantly be feeding your mind on that, it will have an effect on you.
For Focus on the Family, I'm Dr. Bill Meyer.
Dr. Meyer reminds parents that self-doubt reaches a peak in the early teen years, so that's an especially important time for dads to be building their daughter's self-image. For more valuable information on life's issues, relationships, and family, please visit our website, WSFD15.com, and click on the Focus on the Family link. Today's Plugged In Movie Review looks at the new Pixar animation flick, Monsters University.
Monsters University! Anybody getting off?
I'm officially a college student!
In the movie Monsters University, not-so-creepy pals Mike Wazowski and Sully relive their early college days.
James B. Sullivan.
Mike Wazowski.
Showing us how a one-eyed blob and a gigantic furry thing might somehow become the perfect bump-in-the-night team. Truth be told, though, the guys' early days weren't exactly a screech in the park.
I'm gonna scare circles around you this year.
Mike, for example, was a hard-working student, but just so doggone lovable that no one took him seriously.
You might want to hang out with someone a little more your speed.
And Sully, well, he could make Frankenstein whimper in fear, but his grades were a total nightmare.
I'm gonna wipe the floor with that little know-it-all.
There's only one course of action if the boys hope to have a ghost of a chance to earn their degrees.
The Scare Games! A super intense scaring competition!
They'll have to lead a nerd-filled fraternity of squishy, flabby misfits who are all about as frightening as a dirty dish sponge to win the Scare Games trophy. If they do, they'll be reinstated as Scare Majors. If not, well, all of their spine-tingling hopes will go up in smoke. This sequel to the Pixar classic Monsters, Inc. picks up in its predecessor's large and furry footprints. It mixes pratfalling chuckles and monstrous giggles with nice lessons about making it through with good friends. On the other hand, there is a little light creepiness and slapstick in the mix, and the movie's visual references to wild frat parties might leave parents shaking their heads. All in all, though, I'm giving Monsters University 4.5 googly eyes out of 5 for family friendliness. For an in-depth review on this film or anything else at your local theater, check out PluggedIn.com. Plugging you into the movies, I'm Cheryl Wilhelmy for Focus on the Family's Plugged In Movie Review.
If you need more valuable information on current movies, DVD releases, as well as music, games, and TV shows, please visit our website, WSFD15.com, and click on the PluggedIn.com link.
I can't travel. I can't sit for very long. I can't stand for very long. I can't sleep. It's difficult to find any joy. It's unbelievable how just a few months of taking Nopalea, how it's changed my life, how much better I feel. you just get a total appreciation, new appreciation for life that I haven't had in so long.
With over 8 million bottles of Nopalea sold, we know it will work for you. Pick up the phone and call now. Learn how to get your 32-ounce bottle of Nopalea free. You'll also receive the Secret Killer Special Report that talks about the dangers associated with inflammation and an audio CD that explains the science behind the Nopal Superfruit.
I just know it worked, and it helped me, and it'll help you too.
Get on the road to wellness now.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job, I needed health benefits from my family, so I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance, so I called ICANN.
Going without health insurance? One call can change it all. Rates too high? You've been turned down, or just need to save money. ICANN has plans to meet your needs, no matter your income. We have plans that include coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, surgery, emergency room visits, and the list goes on. But wait, there's more. ICANN has programs that connect you with licensed doctors round the clock from wherever you are. And as a special bonus, if you call right now, we'll send you a no-cost, no-obligation Humana prescription drug savings card just for calling.
That's a savings of up to 50% off your prescriptions at 54,000 participating pharmacies nationwide.
So don't wait. Call ICANN right now.
This is Sports Zone.
Miami Heat fans swarmed from downtown bars and rushed cheering and screaming into the streets after their team won its second straight NBA championship. As the final seconds of the Heat's 95-88 win over the San Antonio Spurs wound down late on Thursday, Heat fans by the thousands stormed in the area surrounding the American Airlines Arena to exchange high fives and hugs, blow whistles, and simply scream. Pinch hitter Marcell Ozuna's two-run single gave Tom Kohler his first victory in 9 career starts, and the Miami Marlins rallied past the San Francisco Giants 2-1 Thursday night. Ozuna's line drive in the right field in the 8th inning off of reliever Jeremy Affield ended Kohler's struggles. After 6 appearances in the bullpen, Kohler had been winless in 7 starts this season and took the loss in his lone start last year for the worst team in the majors. Evan Longoria homered twice and drove in 3 runs. Matt Moore ended a personal 3-game skid, and the Tampa Bay Rays beat out the New York Yankees 8-3 on Thursday night. Longoria reached 500 career RBIs with a sacrifice fly in the 3rd inning. He homered against Andy Petitti, leading off the 6th, and connected off Jabba Chamberlain to open up the 8th.
Just as a quick reminder from 15 News Now, on our radio side, WFDZ Froggy 93, we're going to be starting a new public affairs program each week called Talk of the Town. It'll be dealing with a lot of issues around the community, and a lot of interesting people will be on the show. Be listening for that show coming up, Talk of the Town, every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock on WFDZ FM 93.5. Froggy 93, part of the Dawkins radio and television group. That does it for our newscast. For Dustin Kopp, I'm Fred Dawkins. Have a blessed weekend, everybody. Good day.
When you see news happening in your area, let us know about it. You can call our news department at 573-701-9590 or email us at news@DawkinsBroadcastGroup.com.
This mom was lucky that her daughter happened to stop by. Can your mom or dad reach a phone in such an emergency? The solution is Life Alert. Life Alert saves a life from a catastrophe every 11 minutes.
Linda, thank you for finding Life Alert for me. I feel much safer having it.
Whenever my mother needed help, Life Alert was there.
Because of Life Alert, my mother's life was saved.
Life Alert definitely saved my mother-in-law's life that day. There's no doubt about it.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. That's 1-800-821-5206. Call now, 1-800-821-5206. For a free brochure, call 1-800-821-5206. 1-800-821-5206.
I needed coverage that I could afford, so I called ICANN.
When I lost my job, I needed health benefits from my family, so I called ICANN.
With my history, I couldn't get health insurance, so I called ICANN.
Going without health insurance? One call can change it all. Rates too high? You've been turned down, or just need to save money. ICANN has plans to meet your needs, no matter your income. We have plans that include coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, surgery, emergency room visits, and the list goes on. But wait, there's more. ICANN has programs that connect you with licensed doctors round the clock from wherever you are. And as a special bonus, if you call right now, we'll send you a no-cost, no-obligation Humana prescription drug savings card just for calling.
That's a savings of up to 50% off your prescriptions at 54,000 participating pharmacies nationwide.
So don't wait. Call ICANN right now.